Hey guys, welcome to lesson 4 of JavaScript from Introduction to Application. Today we'll be talking about date, how to create date object, how to validate date strings, how to format date, and so much more. So the first thing we'll be looking into today is how to create a date object. In JavaScript, this is very simple. Let's just create a date variable and we say new date. The keyword new is very important. So you have to put a new, so it's giving you a new date. It's an object, so you kind of create new object from there. And what it does is to give you the date for today. So let's put that in the result, in our result. I'm gonna create a variable result and do date dot to string. So that way I have the result here and I assign the result to our inner HTML, so it's going to be displayed on the screen. So let's save it and refresh the screen, and you see what we get. We get Tuesday, January 27, 2015. That is the time that I'm recording this video, and it's showing my time zone. Like, this is where I'm located. So if you run it, it's going to show your time zone depending on where you're located. This might be different for you. So another way to set your date object is actually to put the date as a string. So I can have say 23, 1976. So this is gonna be February 23, 1976. And we'll save it. We refresh the screen and it's giving us Monday, February 23rd, 1976. And it's giving us 000 as a time because we did not specify the time. And at the same time, we have our time zone. So the last way I'm going to show you how to create your date is actually to pass in a number. But when you pass a number, this number is actually a microsecond, the number of microseconds between that number and 1970. So if I put 0, it's going to give me the time, 1970 time. And I save that. Refresh my screen, so it gives me Wednesday 31st, 1969, and it gives me 19. And it's 1969 because my time zone is different. The time zone for 1970 that it's supposed to give you is UTC. So UTC for -5 is different, so it's going to be 1970. So let's actually put some numbers here, just to play with. We save it, we refresh the screen, and it gives us Sunday, April 26, 1970, and gives us the GMT 400 daylight time. All right, so let's go into what you can actually do with the date object. Let's say you have a website and you're trying to validate if the date string that your users entered is correct. So let's say your user, this is a user date, they put this date, whatever date they put in there. And you want to make sure this date they enter is correct. So what I'm doing now is this, putting the user date. I want to create a date object from the user date. So if it is correct, if this date is a valid date, I'm going to get a valid date object. But if not, what I get is something interesting. So we're going to try this first, the valid one. I save it and I refresh my screen. I have Tuesday, March 7, 1989. The date they gave me is valid. Now let's try something that is not valid. Let's try, this is the month. We definitely know the month shouldn't be more than 12. So let's put 23 as the month. And we'll save it. And we'll try to see what we get. Refresh the screen. You see what we get? It says the date is invalid. So you can actually use your date object to validate your user's date and make sure that they are giving you the right date. So another simple application of this is formatting date and displaying it on your website. So if you have a website and you want to display the date, the current date, so the simple thing you can do is, I'm going to get rid of this, you do your new date. So this gives you the date for today. But you know how this one is displayed. It gives you that long thing, and you don't want that. All you want to do is just show them the month, the day, and the year. So what you can do is just say, I'm going to do date format, and that is going to be my date. If I want my month to come first, so I get month. So get month is a method that gets you the number of the month. The number of the month ranges from 0 to 11. So January is going to come at 0, and you don't want that. So what you want to do is to actually add 1 to it. So you add 1. So you add 1, and you can do to string. So it converts everything to string. And the next line you do date plus equals to, so that means we're going to add another thing to it. So if I want to do this as my separator, using a dash as my separator, so I have month dash, then I go to the next one, I do date format, then I want to get my day. So I do date dot get date, and I can do to string. Get date gives me a number between 1 and 31, depending on the date. So give me the date, and you convert that to string. So, and I'm appending that, I'm adding that to my date format. So, and I do the same thing, I add my separator to it. And I can add the year. So at the date format, date dot get full year. So that gives you the full year. And so we have all that set up. And we can pretty much just assign the date format to our result. We don't have to do to string, it's already string, but it doesn't change anything. So we save it, and let's see what we get. So it gives us 1/27/2015. So everything, all the things that we don't need, is kind of like we get rid of it, and we can just concentrate on the things that we need. And this can be anything. You can make it anything you want, since now you have access to all the bits and pieces of your date object. So this is a very simple way of formatting your date object into whatever format you prefer. So another good application of this is to say add number of days to a particular date that you have. So if you want to tell your customers or clients on your website that whatever you're asking for is going to be ready in 5 days, and you want to give them the date that it's going to be ready. So first you need to have the current date, then add 5 to it. So, and that's what we're going to be doing here. We already have the current date, from the new date we have the current date, and we can do variable a day. So a day, this is going to give us the number of microseconds that we have in one day. And how do we calculate that? We have 1000 microseconds times 60 seconds times 60 minutes times 24 hours. This is the number of microseconds we have in one day. So what we need to do is actually to add the number of microseconds we have today to date. But how do we do that? We need to calculate, say variable new date none. So it's going to be, we're using that to capture the number of microseconds that we're going to have in 5 days. So how do we get the microseconds in date? We do date dot get time. So get time gives us the number of microseconds that we have in date. Then we're going to add that to a day. And don't forget, we are looking into 5 days from now. We do times 5, we're doing 5 days. So it's going to be times 5 of that. So let's put this in parentheses just to make sure that this part evaluates first and then add it to this. So now we have 5 days added to the current date, and it's going to give us date in 5 days. So we can say the new date is actually new date and passing the new date time. And that we can assign to our results and to string it. Convert it to string. And we're going to display right here. Let's save it and see what we're going to get. So we refresh and nothing happens. So I think we have an error. So how do we check our errors? You go and do inspect element, you do your console and it's saying the new date time is not defined. So that way we go back and see, where did we put new date time? We come here, look at it, new date time, and I was supposed to put new date num. That's where we're getting the error. So I change that to new date num and save, then go back to the page and refresh. No more errors, and we get the Sunday, February 1st, 2015. That's 5 days from today. So the last concept I would like to leave you with today is just like the other one. So instead of adding to the days, we would now be calculating the number of days between two different dates. So if we already have, say, today is new date, and I'm trying to calculate the number of days between today and my birthday. So let me say birthday is new date, and I'm saying my birthday is on February the 27th, 2015. So I'm trying to calculate how many days do I have till my birthday. And what I need to do is say the difference between those days is going to be my birthday, because my birthday is actually bigger or greater than today. So I'm going to do my birthday minus date. So that gives me the number of microseconds between those 2 days. And I can actually divide by a day. So whatever number of microseconds I have, I'm going to divide by the number of microseconds in 1 day. So that gives me the number of days. And this might be decimal. That's fine. Just know that it's some days and some seconds left. So I'm going to assign the days different, and I convert it to string, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to refresh the string. And it gives me 30.15. So I know I have at least 30 days to my birthday. So this brings us to the end of lesson 4. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you around for lesson 5. In lesson 5, we're talking about arrays, what they mean, and how you can use them. And I want to encourage you to stick around to the end of this course, because at the end, we'll be talking about putting all those things together, all the little pieces, and you actually know what to do with them when you're developing your own application. Once again, thank you for watching.